Sylvanians, and I make videos about Sylvanian families, also known as Calico critters. And today we are not being quite weather appropriate and opening the snow leopard family. These are a relatively new family which came out originally in Japan in summer 2024 and then a year later here in the UK. I bought these when they were on a deal on Amazon for just under £20 and I thought that was a good price. I don't have any of the other snow leopards, so I'm excited to see these up close. There are 4 figures in this family, the parents and 2 babies, and so far that is the entire family. They come with some cute accessories like a snowmobile and some skis, and are all in interesting clothing. These are the new style UK boxes, which are much more similar to the Japanese ones, which are smaller and things are more tightly packed. There is a picture of the family on the back going down a hill in some sort of mountainous region. And there's just safety information on the bottom. So let's get them open. We do have the storybook, which we don't see as much anymore, but I really like these, which have all of their names in the front and a little story with lots of pictures so we can find out more about their personalities, and it's just really cute. I have quite a lot of these now. There is also the latest catalogue, and this shows how the snowmobile and other vehicles can be connected together. They're all quite neat in here to keep them nice on a shelf, but let's get them out. So in the background of the box we can see some mountains with grass in the front, and I think this is unique to this family. Usually it's kind of a garden setup in most of the family boxes. So here are the Alpine family. They are the first snow leopards and the first leopards in general from Sylvanian families. The only other big cats we've seen were the Grande lions, Lionel and Leo, and very recently the Tiggles tiger family. So Epoch does seem to be branching out into more unusual families and not just the woodland ones. From the collection book we know the dad is called Gerald, mother Hope, standing baby on the left is Lala, and the sitting baby is Lumi. So all very sweet names, and I particularly like Lala and Lumi. But taking a look at Gerald, he is a white figure with grey markings on his face. He also has this massive tail, which is, I think, the biggest tail that I've seen other than things like the squirrels, and quite long. It's wire, so it is poseable. He has some flecks on the back of his head of that grey colour, and I see these as little hearts on the back of the ears, but the Japanese website says they are a flower petal. He has a pink nose and some soft little whiskers, and I do quite like this mould. It definitely looks more big cat than domestic cat. His clothes are quite interesting as well, with quite a few different textures. The shirt is majoritively shiny in a kind of dark pink colour, but then this side and up to the front is a slightly fuzzier fabric, like the tricot used on the baby rompers. This is a pink leopard print pattern, I think, though there's multiple colours and it almost looks like flowers to me. He also has a little bead and the collar is more off to the side, so quite interesting. a little white fur trim at the bottom, and yeah, this all fastens with Velcro. So do his trousers, which we can see a little better if I lift up the top. These are blue shiny fabric with a really pretty design around the bottom. And yeah, they are trousers. And there's a big space at the back for his tail. There aren't any markings on his body as far as I can see. Yeah, I think the grey is just limited to his head. I do think the colour scheme is really interesting, kind of shades of pink and blue and some darker brown, and contrasts quite nicely with his white fur. The tail almost looks swirled together. I think I can untwist it. Yeah, it's like a really long pipe cleaner that gets twisted to make it half the length. And it is quite fun to play with. I think they can also be used to hold the babies, so I'll check that after we've looked in more detail at them. But you can also hold it to the front, which would probably be quite good for setting up displays, as I could imagine this knocking into things quite a bit. So that is Gerald. And we also have Hope Alpine, who is the mother. She looks the same as Gerald as far as I can tell. I think all of the markings are the same on their heads. Yeah, looks like it. And she's wearing a pretty kind of more blue toned dress. I think this is the same design as on Gerald's shirt, just in a blue colour. And the colours are slightly more bright looking on here. It's the same kind of tricot fabric as before, as is the white or very pale pink top perhaps. Cute little turquoise collar and burgundy belt. And I like these little yellow pom-poms on her collar for a bit of an extra colour. The skirt is just singed at the bottom rather than being hemmed. And yeah, her tail comes out of the back as well. And it's nice and springy. She does have quite chunky legs and feet, I think. Yeah, same as Gerald. Which does help them stand up straight a bit more easily. Next we have the two baby sisters, who I guess are twins. Lala comes with her little ski boots and skis. Just take those off and we can take a look at her. She has a yellow romper, which is not tricot. It's a bit more of a flimsier fabric, and I really like the colour scheme. Is it meant to be mountains, I think, with some little stars all over? Not quite sure. It almost looks like it would match with the more recent sort of desert adventure themed range of items. She also has some lace to keep up the straps, and it's the same design as most of the other baby rompers. She is also white with some grey markings and those tiny little hearts or flower petals on the back of her ears. And she does not have a tail, just like all the rest of the Sylvanian babies. And finally we have Lumi Alpine, who is a sitting baby. And usually we don't get a crawling baby in this family, but she has on I'm not sure, like a sort of romper with kind of a skirt layer as well. It's not quite the usual sitting outfit, but this looks to be the same pattern or same fabric design as Lala's, just in more shades of blue and with pink elastic to make it a halter neck. I think there is another layer which kind of makes a skirt. It does look a bit kind of ruckled on this figure, and I wish it didn't have the elastic at the end so it could just be more of a frill, but still cute. And the sitting babies are only articulated at the head, but that does spin. And no tail either on this baby. As for the accessories, I've already mentioned Lala's skis. These are teeny tiny and very cute. They have the ski part, and then attached in, I think, are blue shoes which then have the ski poles attached. I think this is really clever, as the figures nowadays can't hold anything and the babies have never been able to hold anything, so just making them upright to go where the baby's hands would go is a really neat solution. The plastic is just plain and shiny. I wish there was some sort of design here, like a flower or star, just to make them a bit more detailed. And the blue part is a bit more of a rubbery material, I think. And finally we have a ski-mobile, I think, or snowmobile. I'm not quite sure exactly what to call this, but it is purple and pink and has a little C and handlebars moulded in, and also a handle at the back to be pushed along. This has little short skis on the front and what looks like a chain or sort of ridged wheels on the back. This part makes a peg to be hooked onto one of the little cars that come in the twin sets, and this hook on the back for attaching things at the back. I really like how that is kind of neat to put away and only in use if you need, and it does look very smart. Though of course only really fits the babies. Lala does fit in there, though I guess her hands more rest on the handlebars. It looks very neat though. And let's put Lala back in her skis. And if I just move her arms up a little, yeah, it can kind of look like she's holding the ski poles. So there is the family as I think they're meant to be, but as I mentioned, the babies can also be held with the tails, and I think it says as much in the story. So let's try that with Lumi and Gerald. Lumi can definitely grip onto the tail, mostly. I think I saw a picture something like this where Gerald was sat down and Lumi on his lap, but she does kind of float off a bit. Yeah, this is the one that I was talking about. Okay, I think that's more like it. It is cute that they can be positioned like that, though I don't think I'll have them in this setup in my collection. And Lala can kind of be held like this as well. I think the tail being maybe a couple of centimetres longer would make this even easier. And those are the Alpine snow leopards. I do like the moulds that they used with this family and also the white and grey markings, and their clothing design is also really nice. They're not completely unique, as we have had both a snowmobile and skis before in the Sylvanian range, but I think these are the first moulded specifically for the babies. I will probably use the accessories more in my winter setups, not right now as currently in July we're going through a bit of a heat wave in the UK, but I think their outfits aren't particularly winter coded other than maybe Gerald's fur trim on his top, and the baby's outfits in particular could fit any season. I would love to see more of this family, particularly some children figures, as they could be really cute with some extra winter adventure accessories, but I think this seems to be the completed Alpine family. On the other hand, it is nice that they're all available in one set. I think £20 is an okay price for these, considering it does come with the accessories, and they will fit in well to my collection. But that is everything I have for you today. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Do let me know if you have these Alpine snow leopards and any ideas for more members of the family. And otherwise, I will see you in my next one. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you like Sylvanian Families content, as I post videos every week about everything Sylvanian, including unboxings like this, as well as hauls and all the latest news and updates.